So for marketing for us, it's something that when I started in NGIT, when Elijah came aboard, I told him that we need someone in a different school to also help us spread this idea. So what normally typically happens is we talk about what the problem is, and once we all agree, we leave it alone and it plays out. So at this point, I try to convince him that we need a rep in a different school and what the benefits of having that rep will be. And we left it there. And what happened? So we got a call, and that led to our first rep, which was Barbara from Rutgers. I was excited because we didn't know what to do. We weren't expecting to have a rep at that time. We just talked about the problem. We didn't know how to solve it, and it just happened that way. So with the success that we got with Barbara, we then started getting reps just like that, without no effort. It just started coming. People saw it. People started gravitating towards it.
I think one of the most important challenges that we face at the moment is integrating all of the different components of aid, because we have education and we want to do healthcare, we want to do microfinance, but at the end of the day, being a jack of all trade and master of none sometimes catches up with you, because you cannot perfect your act in one thing and be just that good at it. So we're really at that borderline where we have a lot of projects to do, but we want to be known for like something we do best, even though all the other things might be extracurricular and they spin off of what we actually do. But when you say Atwa, you can think of great education in rural facilities, or hey, economic sustainability, or hey, improved healthcare or standard of living. So yeah, we're still at that borderline, and we're a fairly young organization. So we don't expect to get it all, you know what I mean? But we're still, that's one of the most important challenges. We're still at that borderline of really trying to streamline and get a one concise strategy, and all the other things can fall behind that.
I mean, I had challenges. I remember when I started dancing, like my family, they didn't want me to dance. My uncles, they were very overprotective of me. And each time I have to go to the dance studio, I mean, it wasn't even a dance studio, it's a backyard. They didn't want me to go to the, to the place where I used to dance. I know, I mean, their reason was that, it was dangerous for me, to walk, because I used to walk for maybe 5 miles to get to the spot where, we can practice, with dancing. So I inspired myself, because I'll go. I'll go. When I come back, I'll get smacked and whipped, but I'll still go, because, it's something that I love. I became a breadwinner at home through dancing, and, when they realized that, I think everybody changed. They started supporting me, because, I did a lot, for my family, through dancing. So my dancing career, it's very important, not only for me, but for my community and for my family.
The last trip to Sierra Leone, I was pretty successful. We basically, went out there to do the whole education thing, and we paid for the primary kids' school fees, and also we paid for the college girls' school fees as well. And one thing we did different, I don't know if you remember, but St. Mary was a new project we kind of picked out, and St. Mary is an intermediate school. So we paid about $174 of the kids' school fees for the primary school, and then in the intermediate school we paid the top 5 in each class.
Another thing we did was something called knee assessment. So we met with the local women, sat down. It's one thing to give aid, but on the other hand, you have to actually understand what people need. So we did a focus group. That was it. We did some focus group, and when we met with the women, we understood that they wanted some kind of sustainability, something that would be self-sufficient. So we came up with the idea from there to start a microfinance, which is in the works right now. We really haven't finalized all of the details yet, but we are still working on a model that's going to be feasible. But yeah, one of the major success of the trip actually was that the needs assessment part that really helped us to streamline as to where Atwa is going, because you can help on a whole lot of dimension, but then if you're not making the most impact, it doesn't matter. So the needs assessment really helped to really streamline things and give us a clear direction.
We got to play at Cornell, at Columbia, at our university, so then we saw the reaction of everybody. Like, people loved that song.
I think that's been a milestone, just getting a chance to perform at different schools and just seeing the reaction from people saying, yo, I like your song, man, I like your song. So that's been kind of like the on the gas to party dream. So I think that's the big milestone. So
I didn't go to Cornell with them, but with Harvard and Columbia, you know, when we perform, we got a lot of good feedback. They're good at picking their schools because people remember, at least me, I did backup on a few of Chris's songs, so people remember you and everything, and I'm like, whoa, like that never happened to me before. They gave me the experience that I never had yet.
Tannaz, you know, it's just a great label, you know what I'm saying? There's more than a label, it's a family, you know what I'm saying? We get along, you know, chill, have a good time in the studio.
Yeah, I know it was the last day to start a fight, screw it, into the night.
One of the most memorable moments I've had as Atwa has progressed will have to be the birth of my son. I mean, we were all there together as a team. Everyone was pushing me to keep going. I remember even the doctor was telling me that, you know, you're not pushing as hard. And I even got up and I screamed at him. I was like, yes, I am pushing. And Sekou was holding my hand, Masira was holding my other hand, and Claudia was in the back cheering, push! And he came, and it was just amazing how, you know, we all stopped at that one moment just to come support each other as a team. And that's the same energy we use to just keep going as a team, you know? And we, not only are we working friends, but we're also family. And that's important for any organization to progress. So that's one of the moments that comes to my head.
Yeah, and he's unfortunately, he's as terrible as it can get. He's a terrible little kid now, and he's all big, and you know, we're glad to have him, definitely.
When it comes to dancing, I love teaching, you know, more than performing. Since I've been in the dance industry in South Africa, I was like teaching, you know, choreographing, putting a dance piece together. And then since I've been in the States, in 2008 December, you know, everybody makes resolutions and whatnot. And I had this dream that, okay, hey, why don't you start teaching dance? Why don't you open your own dance company and share your culture with Americans? You know, show them the beauty of African dance, the heritage and whatnot. And you know, I loved the idea, and it made me excited. And you know, I did my research, you know, looking for a dance studio in downtown, coming up with a name for my dance, you know, company. And I had this graphic designer who helped me with putting a logo together. And I had a lot of logos like to choose from, and you know, I loved the footsteps one. I came up with a name called Izigi. So Izigi stands for footsteps, you know, like footsteps of the world. Everybody who can walk, they can dance. So I'm teaching dance now in South Orange Avenue, you know, teaching, you know, kids from different backgrounds, you know, different ethnicity. You know, I'm teaching them the beauty of African dance, and I'm loving that. Like, you know, each time I go to the dance studio, I feel like, oh, I wanna do this every day. Yep.
In terms of long term, I would pretty much say having, you know, a healthcare system working, and not just Sierra Leone. Also, we plan on going to Liberia and Guinea. That would be probably the #1 thing I think we should probably just focus on for now. And also replicating everything we're doing in Sierra Leone once we're done with that country into the other working countries we're working with.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off what she was saying, in terms of, let's say, for the next 1 to 5 years, one of our major goals is actually to have a headquarters established in Sierra Leone, and like the actual building, the infrastructure where Atwa has volunteers or employees or whatever, and then we can replicate those things in other West African countries, i.e. 3 operating countries right now, Liberia, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. Just having an infrastructure on the ground wherein we can be recognized as an entity as opposed to just something in here. You know, that's important as well. Definitely.
Currently, what we are looking at, it's also a record management. It's more focused on businesses rather than just focusing my idea that we had for students. We are redirecting that.
The projection that we have is we want to have more reps. We want to have more solid reps that are dedicated and passionate about university stories, and reps that want to actually spread this idea to their fellow students on campus. And we actually project to have reps in probably the whole North Jersey schools here, and that's what we want to do. That's our immediate goal. And with that success, then we can do other things.
It's not just about music, although we have the music thing, but we pretty much looking to reach far beyond music and look for ways to, you know, empower people, look for ways to impact the world. So one of the avenues is going to be through music, and also the, you know, Tannaz Foundation coming out soon, and which is just to empower the young folks just for the future, because we've been so blessed to have a degree and also to go to school and, you know, have a good job, but it's more now to see, you know, the future, try to impact them and just try to, you know, give them school supplies, you know, pay for folks to go to school.
As far as resources, let's see, a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of help from outside people. We needed Connect to help us get started. We needed AFSA to adapt us so we can be able to do things on campus. We went through the EOP students to collect stuff for us and do the boxes for us. We went through faculty, staff, what else? Friends and family.
Yeah, you know, actually, it was a lot. Personal play a big part, because we had to. I remember on my birthday, actually, I was in the rain packing boxes in a U-Haul truck for Atwa. So in terms of galvanizing resources, you know, it was a lot about personal will. The knowing that people out there in Africa are less fortunate than you, and you're here, you have the opportunity, and you can put it all on the line for them. So we tapped into our pocket a lot. We have to pay for this, pay for that. Before anyone else can help us, our personal will play a much bigger part in getting things in place.
Okay, so how can people get involved? You know, people always think that I could never get started with something, or I could never do anything, but really, if you just get up and actually do something, you can. With Atwa, we actually reached out to EOP students, and the EOP students made an announcement to them. We told them what we were doing, how to get started, and just from that one meeting, we had about 20 students sign up. Also went to different organizations and presented what we're doing so we can get help. We also have a Facebook page. There's an Atwa group on Facebook. You can search us on Facebook, and you can join our group, and we'll let you know when we have banquets, and we'll send out general body email to ask students to help us out, whether it's cooking or decorating or whatever you can help us with. We definitely need all the help we can get. Also our website, www.aid2westafrica.com. Check us out on there. You can reach out to us, you can send us an email, and that's basically how you can really get started with us.
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, that's definitely what it is as far as contact. But just personally, I mean, doing this, I don't know about everyone else, but it gives you a sense of self-gratification. The fact that you know that kids that you just paid for, the kid that you worked hard to gather school books and whatsoever to send them to school. Someday, nobody knows what that kid is going to be, but you just gave him a possibility. You made that possible. That's deep. I don't know for everyone else, but in terms of motivation, that is my primary motivation. And I think students should really start to look beyond themselves. I was once a freshman, I'm graduated now, but you know, classes and work and homework, we tend to get caught up within our own world, and we isolate everything else. But the ability to step outside of that and know you even have it better, other people will give up anything they can just to be in your position, and then it makes you really do a lot more for other people, definitely.